Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kailem Anderson, Vice President of Portfolio and Engineering at Blue Planet, and I'm here to talk to you about network as a service, vision or reality. And essentially in my session today, I'm going to walk through what network as a service is, the benefits that network as a service provides to a CSP, and some of the tools and tricks you can leverage to really embed network as a service as a framework across your digital transformation journey. So before we dive into what network as a service is, let's talk a little bit about the vision that our service providers are on, okay? And really what I want to focus on here is this concept of digital transformation and really using automations as the driver for driving differentiation across an intelligent automations journey. And when we look at the types of transformation service providers are on, we can really break it down into three independent transformations. What we call network transformation, deploying new services, things like SD-WAN, bandwidth on demand type services. There's operational transformation, really driving efficiency within the NOC, really delivering things like closed loop automation and consolidation within the various NOCs that make up a service provider. And then there's IT transformation, really breaking down the data silos that exist within our service providers today, being able to do things like inventory and network consolidation and really driving efficiency within the various OSS layers. And ultimately, all these types of transformations are focused on simplifying the introduction of innovative new on-demand digital type services. So what are some of the core challenges our service providers have today? Well, if you actually look at how a traditional OSS and BSS environment has evolved, it's fair to say that it's been built up over many, many years, various layers of legacy, okay? And what that means is that we've essentially got what we call this spaghetti integration that has evolved year on year within a service provider's environment. Various business support systems integrated in to various OSS systems, order management, issue management, billing type systems, who then communicate to various network domains and legacy NMS systems that communicate to the network itself. All peer-to-peer integrations, all done uniquely, all driving legacy that's very, very difficult for the service provider to evolve and drive a next generation approach. What's the impact of this? This spaghetti integration, as I like to say, is really holding the service provider back. The ability to be able to upgrade, the ability to drive a next generation approach is very much compromised because of all these peer-to-peer integrations that can easily break if you change or try and do something different. Essentially, there needs to be a better way to be able to support our service providers on their digital transformation journey and get away from this tightly coupled spaghetti integration concept. And the key standards are really focused on driving a common approach that's open and agile that can be the baseline for automation. And if you actually look, there's a common theme that we're starting to see within our service provider standards bodies that is focused on open standards-based reference architectures. All of them are really focused on this concept of leveraging model-driven abstracted approaches to decouple OSS and the network, using standards-based APIs to expose capabilities consistently between the resource layers, network layer, and service management layer. And they're all focused on driving a lifecycle approach to automation, leveraging artificial intelligence, analytics, and assurance to drive a next generation approach. Let's look at some of these standards bodies. First one, TM Forum, really driving standards-based, TM Forum-based APIs to allow the BSS and services management layer to communicate consistently, and then between the services management layer and the various domain layers. You have bodies like ETSI and its ZSM-based standards that's really focused on zero-touch network and services management. And then you've got bodies like MEF that's really focused on lifecycle-based orchestration, providing MEF design specifications to enable standard services orchestration, all trying to drive consistency and getting away from this spaghetti integration approach that's really driven a peer-to-peer type of model that is not sustainable and cannot allow the service providers to move forward. So what is the approach? Network as a service is a standards-based framework for really driving digital transformation. Now, this NAS concept, and network as a service, has developed over the last few years to really help our service providers tackle their transformation challenges. So what is NAS, or Network as a Service? Essentially, NAS brings together multiple open standards, including TM Forum, ETSI, ONF, and MEF, to provide a framework for automating operations and services lifecycle management. It decouples OSS and the network, allowing service providers to profitably support cloud-like services and deliver on-demand services and business models that are sustainable. Essentially, Network as a Service framework has three guiding principles. Firstly, it separates areas of concern to accelerate evolution and innovation. Secondly, it leverages a model-driven approach via abstraction with open southbound and northbound APIs, so network resources can serve as reusable building blocks. And the Network as a Service model is really lifecycle centric. It combines artificial intelligence, analytics, assurance with orchestration to enable proactive operations in a closed loop based model. Very, very powerful when you actually bring it together to drive a next generation digital transformation approach. And Network as a Service isn't just a theoretical concept. Network as a Service is being deployed today across multiple use cases within our service provider. Let me give you some examples. 5G network slicing, using Network as a Service as a common abstraction layer to drive orchestration and management of a lifecycle of an end-to-end network slice, spanning transport or the network, as well as the virtual packet core, as well as RAN and virtual edge environments, with the services management layer over the top that drives consistency and automation across those various subdomains. Look at something like bandwidth on demand, delivering a self-service end-to-end provisioning of a dynamic Ethernet, OTN, or layer 3 type service across a multi-vendor network, being able to take a work order from a northbound system and then decompose it into its various subdomains, and then be able to automate and orchestrate across a multi-vendor network, whether that's optical, Ethernet, or IP. Or SD-WAN automation, being able to automate SD-WAN services, multi-vendor SD-WAN services in a consistent way that leverages the power of the underlay with the overlay network. So again, being able to take a northbound work order, decompose that via a multi-domain services orchestration layer, and then coordinate the underlay automation with the overlay automation across a multi-vendor SD-WAN type of environment. All real use cases leveraging the NAS concept today. And let me talk about some of the NAS-focused TM Forum-based catalysts that we're actually showing in the market today. And I've got three that I'd really draw your attention to. The first one, edge automation. This is a catalyst that brings together British Telecom, Orange, as well as Telecom Italia Mobile. And it's really focused on this concept of being able to automate edge services on demand. Take a stadium, which is really this use case, and being able to spin up very quickly services that can be delivered to that stadium, such as digital surveillance, such as on-demand based applications, such as bandwidth on demand, deliver it to the stadium in a very, very short period of time, and then tear down those services once that event is completed. The second use case, agile and automated digital enterprise. This is a use case with British Telecom and Verizon. And this is really about being able to drive a consistent way to deliver services to the enterprise, focused on things like unified communication, as well as video collaboration-based services. And in this catalyst, we show and demonstrate how standards such as Tosca, NAS, as well as TM Forum-based APIs can be used consistently to deliver a broad range of enterprise services in a consistent manner. And then the third use case, which is a catalyst demonstration that we showed with AT&T, really focused on automating wavelength-based services, where we show a consistent way to automate the provisioning of wave services, open standards-based wave services, using the TM Forum-based NAS model and ODA, leveraging open APIs, and doing that with measurable outcomes and delivering the service consistently to their enterprise customers. Again, all three very different examples that leverage the NAS concept of open standards and programmability in a consistent way. And the key thing I would flag with NAS It's not just a concept to drive consistency in terms of how services get implemented within the network. It has measurable and defined business outcomes that I'll share with you now. First example is the AT&T catalyst I just shared earlier, where we were automating essentially NAS for Lambda or wavelength-based services. In that catalyst, we're able to show measurable value, okay, in the areas of operational efficiency, such as a 50% reduction in processing time. It enabled a DevOps environment where they could drive efficiency within their network also, increasing efficiency to the vicinity of 30%, and also reducing software release costs via the consistent integrations that happened across the various layers in their OSS stack. And ultimately, drive innovation to cache, shortened their cycle and release cycle time, which gave them a 50% increase in time to revenue, a 50% increase in provisioning time. It also reduced operational cost, reduced swivel chair by 30%, as well as order fallout by 40%. All very measurable and all going to the bottom line in delivering unique value. And these values have not only been validated in proof of concept, such as the catalyst we talk about, they've been validated in actual customer environments. And the case study I'd share with you here today is the Vocus Group case study, where they've leveraged network as a service to break down their own operational silos. Vocus is a company that's grown through acquisitions, 13 acquisitions over a few years. They've leveraged this NAS concept, this very powerful NAS concept, to drive abstraction and a common layer that breaks down their various acquisition silos. So a consistent way to consume service and then decompose that across their various networks to drive differentiation. What has this done for Vocus? Well, they've had a stated direction of reducing cost in their OSS environment by $30 million and significantly reducing their order to cash cycles. Those results are being realized through this NAS journey by providing consistency, programmability, and a standards-based approach to break down their various network domains. So in summary, what would I like to draw to your attention? Firstly, NAS is not just a vision. It's been implemented with tangible value. Blue Planet provides a comprehensive standards-based NAS framework that decouples OSS and the network to address customer transformation challenges. And Blue Planet isn't just focused on the services orchestration aspect. We're very, very powerful in that services orchestration layer. We're very, very powerful across the inventory and services federation layers, as well as path computation, analytics, and assurance. Essentially, the Blue Planet suite providing a lifecycle-based approach to enable zero-touch lifecycle management, leveraging the NAS model. And the final piece I'd flag is this NAS-based concept allows service providers to support cloud-like services. It's a framework for delivering on-demand services, which is what every carrier is focused on, okay? So they can use this as a concept to roll out the NAS incrementally, supporting various domains, and then add new domains over time. This means that they can really use it as a framework to deliver things like 5G network slicing, bandwidth on demand, and SD-WAN automation as they move on their digital transformation journey. Very, very powerful and very, very practical as a means to deliver these services to your customers. So finally, I'd like to wrap up and say thank you for your time today. Now I'd like to open it up to a set of Q&A and answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.